How's it going, guys? It's Pyrrhus here and welcome to another Age of Empire mobile video. Today I'm going to talk about the Pyrrhus, and from first look, Pyrrhus looks like a normal damaging hero. But if you build him like a normal DPS, you're actually throwing some fights away. And the worst part, you won't realize you're losing value until your troops are already gone. Now, I have been testing Pyrrhus outside the castle. I cannot say in multiple PvP scenario. I mean, currently we're in the Pioneer server. We have like limited time to test different heroes, and I'm going to share with you what I saw about this hero right now after the test I do. And first thing, I want to answer the most important question for you, my viewer. Why it matter? If you build him wrong, you're basically going to lose burst window, you're going to waste skill activation, and you're going to trade worse in every fight. And this is not a small mistake. This is a difference between winning trades and slowly bleeding troops every fight. This is what matters. To not lose this burst window, to know the skill activation, and to not actually trade worst. So first thing first, couple words over the spells of this bad boy. The commander one is dealing strategy damage to the enemy. By the way, this is a very solid damage. It's like 550% strategy damage. But I want to point something else, that this is a swordsman, strategy swordsman. Just want to point out this thing, okay? And increase your next signature activational chance by 35% and damage by 20%. So you have better chance to activate signature skill and you do more damage. Until the next signature is activated successfully, get 100 initial rage upon entering in the battle. So from 250 is going to drop to 150, and 150 is very fast, by the way, very fast execution of the commander skill. So what is the signature skill? And here's where the damage and the activational chance and the burst window actually what we're talking about. I think just 1 second. Yeah. So here in the signature skill, deals strategy damage to the enemy troop, 320%. By the way, this is a solid one. Strategy bonus. Each time this skill is activated, there is a 27% chance to activate it one additional time. Now, here is very important when the main spell or the commander skill is going to trigger, because this is going to increase the activational chance by 35%. So if you get it with 27% or even with 25%, you're going to be 62% chance to activate and do additional time. So there's going to be a second activation of this spell. The important thing here is up to 3 activational per turn. So yeah, there's limitation, 3 times you can do the activation, but every 2 activations, which if you activate the signature skill and after this activate the commander skill, you're basically going to get 2 activations, or activate the commander skill before the signature skill. There is a decent chance you get a second activation, and after 2 activations you basically get increased strategy by 34.6 seconds. This is just little overview over Pyrrhus. Pyrrhus. Oh my god, I don't know why I say Papyrus. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, if you miss your Pyrrhus for Papyrus, hit 1 like on the video. So yeah, this is the skills of Pyrrhus. So let's break everything down. Situation: you unlock Pyrrhus. You see big numbers, high damage rates, multi-activations. What most players is going to do is they're going to treat him like a standard burst DPS hero. Stack damage, press skill, expect results. This is basically the flow of the normal burst DPS hero. But why this thing is wrong? Pyrrhus is not just a damaging hero. He is tempo based activational engine. And this is where most players completely misunderstand the value of Pyrrhus, that he is tempo-based activational engine. Now what to do instead? You don't build Pyrrhus for damage. This is one of the things. You build him for activational chaining, because his real power is not the damage, is how often he trigger his damage. Now what kind of other spells you can actually get with Pyrrhus? Let's check it out. You have War Tactic, which is deal strategy damage to the enemy troop damage. So we're looking something that is going to give us more chances to activate the signature skill. Deals strategy damage to the enemy troop and to recover troop units. Okay, this is a nice one, by the way. Expeditional Pyrrhus. Increase your signature active skill chance by 0 point. This is a must get, must do. I'm going to just basically unlock this thing, and I'm going to replace the first spell, and I'm going to advance. Oh my god, I have like 50k of this thing. I'm going to make it like this. So this is the effect. Increase your signature active skill chance by 1% each time you activate a signature active skill. Increase signature active skill damage by 1%, strategy bonus, stacking up to 6 times during rallies. Your signature active skill damage increased by additional 5%. So we may actually see some switches in the meta about the rally, because this one is a very solid one, and this is on level 1. Obviously, if I basically level up this skill and make it level level 40, you're going to see the pure Super Saiyan right here. So we're jumping up to 2%. So basically the activational chance of the signature skill is going to be 2%. Active chance by 2% each time you activate the signature skill. Increase the signature activational damage, signature activational skill damage by 2%. Strategy bonus, stacking up to 6 times. So you can see that this 12 beautiful percent. And during the rallies, your signature active skill damage increased by additional 10%. I can say this bad boy may be absolutely crushing the rallies. Yeah, let's check it out. The other spells, by the way. This is the ultimate strategy. Deals 1 instance of strategy damage to the enemy troops, some percentage. Increase the hero strategy damage by some percentage, and activational chance of signature active skill by 3%. Brother, you can make this hero. You can make this hero absolutely wild. I'm not gonna lie, and especially with this skill here. Oh my god, look at this thing! And right now I'm going to level it up, and you can see how much in the extra we're going to boost this this activational chance engine. What is the Pyrrhus? We're not looking here getting more skills and getting more, how to say it, getting more damage, some might damage, yeah, not might damage, oh my god. I mean, we're not looking this deals 1 instance of strategy damage or deals a strategy damage. We're looking for these 2 beautiful skills. And look at this thing. The first one, increase your signature active skill by 2%, stack up 6 times. It can go each time your activation, increase the active damage 2% stack. So here we're actually stacking up. The bonus can go up to 12%, but it's going to just give you 2% activational chance for your signature skill. 2%. Extra 15%. And activational chance of signature skill 15%. 17%. 17. 25. 35. 43%. 42%. 42% is going to be the activational chance of your signature skill. Inside, you're going to have this 27%. Each time you skill activation, there is some percentage to actually trigger it again. It's something like a double double attack of the signature skill. I mean, you can make this hero absolutely wild, and I strongly believe this hero is also very solid for rallies. Now, if you want more breakdowns like this, where we don't just explain hero but actually fix how you play them, drop a like and subscribe for more Age of Empire mobile content, because this is where most players are losing fights without realizing that. Now, here's some other situation. Let's just get a little more deeper with Pyrrhus, okay? Here's the situation. You read his skill, you see basically something that I see basically from my first impression. What you see? Damage, activational chance, buff. This is all you see. Strategy, 20 strategy, activational chance, some damage. What players think? Okay, just stack strategy and damage. This is what comes from the mind of the players. But here's the problem. His entire kit is built around increased activational chance, trigger multiple times, scaling over activation. This is what this hero is all about. And by getting these two spells, it's just going to make him absolutely crazy. Now here is more like rally related, okay? 2% is not something crazy, okay? It's not something crazy. You can go easy 40% with this one only. But here there is a stacks. Even with the stacks, you can basically use other spell at this place. But I strongly believe this is the spell you should actually use here. But yeah, you see the damage and it's okay. It's just put strategy and damage here. But yeah, we have to put more activational chance or boosting the activational chance of the signature skill. We're not looking that much over the commander skill. We're looking over the activational chance of the signature skill. If you only build damage, you get 1 activation, decent damage. If you build activation or around the activation, you get 2-3 activation, exponential damage. Okay, decent damage, exponential damage. That's not double damage. This is buff stacking, strategy increase, retrigger potential. So yeah, here's the first big mistake that I think the players are going to do. Open field fight, equal power. What most players are going to do, they're going to run Pyrrhus with pure DPS support. Why this is bad? Well, you're increasing damage per hit, but you're not increasing the number of hits. So we're also talking about how the Pyrrhus should be built. And again, it's not like boosting his damage, but activation of this of his spell by increasing the numbers of hits you're actually doing with this hero. But to be fair, 40% from the strategy master gift and the thunder trample. I mean, the thunder trample is having like 25%. Here you have like extra 15%. I think 40% is nice. 40% is nice. This 27%, if there is a chance we actually boost this, going to be great. But yeah, it's like up to 3 times. I don't think it's needing that much, to be fair, numbers of boosting the activational chance, to be fair. Even though if you boost the activational chance and trigger the second time, this 27%, you can basically get like 660% strategy bonus, which is absolutely wild. Now, what is the results? You lose extended fights, you lose trades, you lose efficiency if you're just boosting the damage per hit, even if your numbers look high. Now, what to do instead with Pyrrhus and how to pair him? Pair him with Rage Regeneration. This is one of the things. Activate, especially if he's a commander. If you have a chance, build him with Rage Regeneration, activational boosters. This is the other thing, and skill frequency support. This is the other thing. We already get some spells with him. that I believe is a very, very solid for Pyrrhus. Now, here's one situation. Mid-fight, Pyrrhus trigger multiple times. What most players don't see is every few activations he's increasing his own stats. And as you can see, is every 2 activation increase your strategy by 30 for 6 seconds. Here, each time you activate a signature active skill, increase signature active skill damage by 2%, stacking up to 6 times. So from here you get 12%. You get 12% more damage. From here you get 30% strategy, and this is for 6 seconds, which is absolutely wild. The more percentage is having the signature skill, you may even end up to have this one permanent. Okay, I don't believe you're going to be able to get it permanent, but pretty decent activational chance and getting this juicy strategy and damage stack up. Now, why this is a huge? Pyrrhus is not front-loaded. His scaling damage engine. And later I will show you why this actually make him stronger in losing fights, which sound crazy, but it's actually true. Now, second big mistake, burst timing. Players engage, inspect instant burst. This is not what actually happened with Pyrrhus, because yeah, people see this 550% if he's commander, and from their signature skill activational chance 35%. By the way, 35% with 25 is 60 plus 15, 60, 75%, 77% chance, which is a very solid one after you trigger your commander skill to actually get a burst window. Okay, there is a very decent chance to actually get this one. And a lot of players are going to expect that. But what they're doing, what they do wrong is they disengage too early. They're expecting this crazy amount of damage and they try to disengage too early. Why this is costly? You leave the fight before full activational cycle, you have full buffs and full scaling. Again, we're looking for, and especially when the game provides us and actually give us this, hey, Burgas, during the rallies, your signature activational skill damage is increased by additional 10%. You know? Hey, Burgas, we got to give you this thing in extra. So you see, this hero is scaling engine. It's not for a fast fight. So the results is going to be obvious. 60% value instead of 100+% value. That was basically wasted troops. So yeah, guys, I think I spoke enough for Pyrrhus, because I think the majority of the players is going to be hyped by a lot around the Pyrrhus. I even get hyped around Pyrrhus, especially with this activational engine, activational chance this bad boy is having, and just getting things absolutely crazy, absolutely wild. And I think a lot of players are going to look in his direction, expecting some crazy results, but will not understand that this is actually a scaling hero, not a burst hero. So don't forget to hit one like, subscribe for more Age of Empires mobile content. I wish you a great day, and see you in the next video.